welcome everyone to another Week 5 match between the Bloomington Bobcats and the Funkytown Floppas. This is the big Cat Bowl. I think in a couple weeks we do have our Bird Bowl between the Quails and the Owls, but today two Cat teams duking it out. This ultimately could be one of the most consequential games for the season for both of these teams. As the way it's shaping out right now, both these teams are going to be trying to vie for that last playoff spot. Right now, I believe the Bobcats are in 8th seed right now, and the Floppas are right outside at 9th or 10th. So they're right on this fringe here. A win here could be huge for either of these teams to especially try to make up that playoff position. We do see Yeetmeister is now back for Maverick. I believe this is the first game that we've streamed where the Floppas have had Yeetmeister, who's in the game as Spacemaker now, showing the Doomfist right now. It looks like he is actually rolling out on it too. Completely different comp for both teams. We do see a much more traditional comp coming out from the Bobcats. This kind of Brig Juno meta from both teams is being shown, but the Diva coming out from Fire against the Doomfist from Yeetmeister. So we do see Boost actually on this Pharah. Not really a traditional hit scam. We do have Shoreline Pie on this. Sojourn could put some pressure, but it is a tough matchup. But Topaz falling early. Huge pick with that burst heals coming out from that Juno. So huge advantage here for the Floppas. Alongside of PJ just kind of running in on this Tracer. Flip is guarded by the Floppas early here. Trying to chase down Boost, looking for the stagger kill. Looks like they will be able to find it. Actually, no, the Brig Pack from Moon comes in to save the day and keep Boost alive there. Ruben also, I do want to point out, is ringing for Asmodeus on this DPS, playing the Tracer. Yeetmeister actually goes in. Trade on both sides. Moon gets taken down for Yeetmeister. But the entirety of the Bobcats are low, but up this tank, looks like they are going to try to press here. They do have the heals from Topaz, even though Moon is taken down. PJ trying to put the pressure on the backline, but he's kind of alone here. He can only do so much. Is forced to recall there. No, he is actually staying alive. Gets the Mega. Yeetmeister gets the kill onto Ruben again early here. Yeetmeister trying to get these kills here to open up these team fights. So far has done it twice in a row. The entire time his team does control the point here. Real Dog also takes down Boost, so the Flyer is out of the sky here. Yeetmeister trying to look for more, able to find Moon. It looks like Fire is actually going to get demeched here. Forced to use the Diva Bomb, will be able to get back into mech here soon. We are starting to now get to these ults here. Huge ult advantage here in favor of the Floppas here. On top of this early point prio and almost 70% already here. Starting to build this ult advantage. Both Junos are going to have their orbital strike here, so it could just be whoever uses it better will get the value. Riddle Dog actually does use it super early there. Trying to just get some more sustain on the backline, it looks like. Topaz does have it second, so if his team manages to survive, but they don't actually. Fire gets demeched. Able to stay alive, but with Shoreline Pie with this OC, able to do so much damage here. The orbital strike is doing its best. Getting a lot of space here, actually. Shoreline Pie is pressured out. The rally is used from Wiggle Higgle, though. Moon has a rally of his own if he wants to use it. Does actually get taken down before he can pop the rally. And it looks like the Floppas will be able to clean this fight up. Boost can touch, but he likely will not be long for this world. Fire able to kind of toe tap on the point, but not a whole lot he can do. Boost does get taken down here, so it is going to be a pretty clean 99-0 here for the Floppas on the back of this Yeetmeister Doomfist. Kind of a surprising pick here for Yeetmeister to come out on the Doomfist, but it is able to get this value here. You would think that with this hypermobile comp that the Bobcats are running should not be susceptible for the Doomfist, but he has been able to get the picks here, so not only do you have a lot of mobile characters, but you also have this Brig that can do a lot of peeling here, but just able to find these picks here early. Fire does actually go on the Ramatra. Probably something he's a little bit more comfortable on than the Diva. Looks like they're going to try to play to absorb this Doomfist dive a little bit more. The Doomfist and the Tracer dive actually can go in together. PJ also is getting a lot of value there, especially in those scrappy fights. But yeah, over to the Ramatra here, should be able to kind of sustain this a little bit more and provide a little bit more brawl pressure here. Ruben also goes onto this Ashe here to try to get some the big dynamites and maybe get some big picks here onto Shoreline High, try to take this duel. Yeetmeister actually does take this point here early. But Fire is going to try to fight him here. Yeetmeister actually tries to run onto the back line, does get pressured out a lot, and will get taken down there by Fire. With this early point presence for Fire, Ruben also finds Wiggle Higgle there late. Riddle Dog, Shoreline Pie actually looks like will get caught out too. But yeah, this early point prio, especially with this Ramatra comp, you can just play to bunker this. Yeetmeister / Spacemaker goes onto the Winston here. I believe he is going to try to look to pressure Ruben a little bit more. The Winston also able to kind of brawl a little bit more, especially with this bubble, kind of take a little bit more damage than the Doomfist. The cleave from the Winston gun also can be very valuable. Again, is looking for this to dive onto this Ash, but boop off the high ground into the slow field from the Ramatra, and he actually goes deeper trying to get this Mega here. This entire time, the Bobcats still do have the point. PJ gets taken down really low, forced to recall, but the picks are coming in favor of the Floppas. So they might have had their opening here to try to push in. But Riddle Dog gets taken so low and gets taken down. Moon is trying his best to survive the Winston here. Wiggle Higgle does punch in, but Fire's able to kind of stabilize here. Again, this Ramatra is just so good at stabilization, uses the Nemesis form to just do so much cleave, and is trying to look for the Winston here. If he is able to find Yeetmeister, that could be a huge pick to kind of keep this momentum going. Yeah, we do see Yeetmeister actually opts to back up. PJ on this Tracer is forced to back out too, so they are doing a very soft regroup here. But the longer it's taking them, the more ults the Bobcats are getting here. The Ramatra and the Echo already built, but these support ults are right around the corner. Slight ult advantage here in favor of the Bobcat supports. Okay, Shoreline Pie actually gets 2. Huge opening there for the Bobcats, and even without ults, Shoreline Pie able to get 3. Fire is trying to just hold the fort down, but the rest of his team around him is dead. There's only so much he can do. Might be able to kind of force 99. No, not quite at 99, but early 94% is still pretty good. But the Floppas, who were looking really rough in terms of ults, after winning that fight, are starting to catch up here. It looks like it is going to be pretty much a full ult bank across the board for both teams coming into this next fight here. It's just going to come down to who gets these ults first and who gets more value with them. Spacemaker with this Primal probably will be going in aggressive. Might use the Primal to kind of stay alive here, but PJ actually finding boost early. I don't think the Bobcats are going to try to invest here, and they don't. 2 kills super early there, and Ruben is also taken down late there. The Primal is actually used from Spacemaker. So the good thing for the Bobcats is they get the Primal out. The bad thing is that's the only ult that was used. So you still have both support ults and both DPS ults for the Floppas available here. And I would assume that in order to break through this, you probably are going to need a rally from Moon to try to break through this defense. But on the other side, Wiggle has a rally of his own, so it's definitely tough to break through. The rally is used, but the Pulse actually gets the kill. Shoreline Pine also gets the Juno. A lot of kills are coming in. Super scrappy fight. Bob is thrown on the point. That actually might be enough. Fire also opts to use the Ramatra ult, which actually I think will be enough to secure this point. Yeetmeister, the only one alive here. Likely not long for this world. Does get taken down there. Does force the OT. PJ looks like we'll be able to touch here, but Topaz still has this orbital strike, which is really tough to fight into, even with Wiggle Higgle's rally. Yeah, after a really dominant first point. Very nice answer from the Bobcats there. Also, I realized I do not have chat open. Let me open up chat just in case. Yeah, Fire, like you're saying in chat, Neptune, Fire on Ramatra has been getting a lot of value. But the D.Va, I think, is like a good pick into Doomfist, but the Ramatra is just like, you can't really, a lot less vulnerable. It looked like early they were, the Floppas were trying to punish Fire on the fly-in, so now he's trying to play a little bit more passive, a little bit more defensive, and trying to play to force the brawl second. So Spacemaker actually goes onto the Ramatra of his own. Almost a mirror comp. The only difference is Shoreline Pie on this Widow. Shoreline Pie's Widow this season has been absolutely lethal. Ruben is going to cast, so likely a little bit more consistent damage from this cast, but the Widow being able to get these early picks is a huge win condition here. If Shoreline Pie is able to get just one pick, that could be all they need to open up the fight here. it looks like neither team really wants to push in here. The Bobcats are aware of this Widow and do not want to challenge it. Fire falls super low. Will be able to survive. Actually is able to pop the form second. This entire time, the Bobcats are stabilizing here very well. Fire falls really low, but is able to get popped up. Both Junos are really close on this ult charge here. Those will probably be the first ult. Actually, Topaz finds PJ. That's a huge pick there from Topaz. And Spacemaker tries to run in with this Ramatra form. There's only so much he can do, though. Likely the Floppas will have to just concede here after that early pick from Topaz. Meanwhile, Boost is just harassing the backline and actually loses the duel to PJ. So now down to their own Tracer. The Bobcats are actually backing up here. Not a whole lot they can do here. PJ close to this pulse here. Against the Brig. Brig is a very easy pulse target. I'm assuming that is just what he's going to look for, just to pulse Moon here. But Moon actually just is able to die even without any ults invested from the Floppas, so... And these picks are starting to come in favor of the Floppas here. So almost 40% early from the Bobcats, but forced to back up here after some big picks there. Drilling Pie also close to this infra site. Try to look at some of these rotations and try to help them get another like early pick here. Again, PJ with the pulse of his own. Pulse on both sides, but the big difference maker here is Topaz with the Ramatra ult and Topaz with the Juno ult. Those are both very big picks that can be used really aggressively to open up this fight. Fire actually is trying to put a lot of pressure here onto Shoreline Pie on this Widow here. Fire, who does have this advantage here, is playing really aggressive. Real Dog uses the Orbital Strike first. Second Orbital Strike is used from Topaz, but Ruben Lagoons does end up getting taken down by Spacemaker. Pulse is used, hits Wiggle Higgle down the Brig. It is going to be really difficult to sustain through this fight. It looks like Fire is also looking for Riddle Dog here. Getting a pick onto Riddle Dog means no supports for the Floppas, which could be huge here, but Spacemaker pops the Ramatra ult of his own. Able to sustain here really well. And the wall from Fire is able to kind of stop the Ramatra ult. Not a whole lot of ults. Purple Jesus also gets taken down there by Moon. Moon actually swapping off of the Brig onto this Kiri. Likely to try to avoid just getting run over by this Ramatra here. Shoreline Pie does still take him down. So without the Kiri, you do still have the Juno ult, so you might still have enough to sustain here. But down one, it's going to be really difficult for the Bobcats to hold on here. 70% already from the Floppas is a great advantage for them. Especially with this rally coming out for Wiggle Higgle. Wiggle does pop the rally aggressively here. Gives Spacemaker the space to pop the Nemesis form and run on. Ruben does have this high noon. Looking for something. Gets Wiggle really low. Gets the pick onto Wiggle. Again, you do still have the Juno kills, but that's not a ton. But on the other side, Shoreline Pie does find Topaz. Super scrappy fight here, but it looks like it is slightly in favor of the Bobcats. Moon also has this Kiri Rush if he opts to use it, but might not need to with that late pick onto Riddle Dog. So even after investing that rally there, not a whole lot is going to be here for the Floppas. This Kiri Rush, or the Orbital Strike here is going to be probably their biggest win condition coming up here soon, but already close to last fight here. Both teams are very close to 99 here. Fire uses his Nemesis early and then just runs onto the backline trying to find Riddle Dog. Not quite able to get it, but does isolate Spacemaker and the bomb from Poos. I wish I got to see that. Bomb from Poos finds two in the backline, so both backlines are traded here, but Spacemaker slightly lower. Gets taken down there by Fire. Kitsune Rush is used. Might be enough. But the Riddle Dog with the Orbital Strike to stick onto Fire. PJ and Riddle Dog able to take a 2v3 and get these kills here. Spacemaker goes onto the Doomfist here. It looks like both teams will try to play for this final touch here, but Topaz falling does force the overtime, but being down your Juno there, that's a really rough, especially 97%. And it looks like Floppas will actually be able to recover here and take this first point. Staggers are coming in here, but it looks like the Floppas are able to sustain and find these picks. So a really scrappy point there, but ultimately just some clutch plays, some clutch early picks coming out from the Floppas to be able to take map 1. So let's see this one. wiggle higgle with the play of the game. I think we are going to take a short map break after this, so stay tuned, everyone. I think this is going to be a great series coming up here. Welcome back, everyone. With the Bobcats selection, they will be taking us to Junkertown, and they will be playing their lineup with Etc. This is kind of a different look than we kind of saw earlier in the season. Earlier in the season, they were playing Topaz on the tank and Firestar Boss on the support. But now we are looking at a lineup where Etc. is on DPS alongside Moon, and the backline is Topaz and Foost, actually. So here, let me whip this together real quick. I always forget we can do this. Moon and Foost and that. Okay. Let me see if I can get this to work. So it would be second one, I think. I broke it. So yeah, unfortunately, I cannot show you the lineup, but we'll see once we get into the lobby. This kind of makes sense. Like, Etc. Is a kind of known for those. Oh no, I actually broke it. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. There we go. Etc. known for those like long range hit scans, especially that Widow. Junkertown is a really good Widow map. On the other side though, Shoreline Pie does, like I said earlier, does have a very good Widow. Could take that duel if they wanted to. I also wouldn't be surprised to see Yeatmeister play some Sigma here. Maybe go for a much more brawl style look. The backline of the Floppas also, both players are kind of traditionally known to play flex support. So running some sort of flex support backline wouldn't be surprising for the Floppas. So I think this is a good map pick for the Bobcats to kind of play to their strength, especially with Etc. on this Widow. But I do think the Floppas still do have a pretty good lineup to run on these poke maps. Purple Jesus in chat right now also is asking Etc. not to play Widow. Surely he doesn't just roll out on the Widow anyways, but Etc. and PJ. I know sometimes I like to talk about the storylines. Etc. and PJ have a long history together. I believe they played on the original Roseville Raiders in Season 2 of Gopherwatch League. Have played on multiple teams together throughout Gopherwatch League and Aurora, so I'm sure they kind of are expecting this Widow coming out from Etc. They kind of have scouted his hero pool and everything like that. Purple Jesus has been consistently this season staying on that Tracer too. So even on top of trying to have to take this Widow duel against Shoreline Pie, you likely also are going to have Purple Jesus on this Tracer kind of harassing you. So it is going to be a tough matchup for Etc. I'm sure he's kind of like looking for his team to get some peel here, because there's going to be a lot of pressure put on Etc. here. I think we will be going in here soon, shortly. And there we go. I know sometimes on Junkertown, like, some people like to kind of predict the Widow duel and kind of play against it, but I feel like both of these teams are just going to try to take the mirror. I think they're going to run pretty similar comps here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Fire also staying on, or just kind of mirroring that Sigma. I definitely expect, actually, Yeatmeister is showing the Ryan in spawn, but I think he will be swapping over to the Sigma. We do see the Juno Xin here. A very interesting backline. Juno, I believe, has been kind of taking that role of a flex support, so I could see that too. Yeah. Going back to this map here, I do think Juno and Zen can work. The Juno does provide a lot of healing here. Very interesting lineup from the Bobcats, running Moon on the Mei here. Not 100% sure who they're trying to isolate with these walls. Purple Jesus actually showing the Sombra here. I don't know if this is going to be the comp that the Floppas roll out on, but yeah, there's that Widow from Shoreline Pie.
3, 2, 1.
West server. Right before the spawn doors open, they pause it. So, but yeah, we do see a lot more greedy. I'll say a greedy of a comp from the Floppas, running that support line with the Brig and not the Brig, the Juno and the Zen alongside double snipers. But the BAP and the Juno does provide a lot more healing, but doesn't have that kind of utility. The Zen Discord is going to be the big win condition for the Floppas there. Trying to take these fights, really quickly. You are probably going to get like out healed, but having that Discord does kind of allow you to try to put pressure on these targets that are discorded. And did we find it? Nope, still 70. I know for me, I'm not a hit scan player, so going from like 40 latency, which I'm usually at, to like 70 is not too big of a deal. But with the Widow duel, it could be a huge advantage or disadvantage depending on where your servers are located. So it does actually make a big difference to the hit scans, especially on Widow. Even 30 extra latency could be a big difference, especially in the Widow v Widow. So I do understand trying to reset it, but it does sound like the central servers are completely down. Yeah, like we said earlier, like the exact same comp pretty much coming out for the Bobcats. Yeah, it looks like both teams are showing the same comp here. Yeatmeister is showing the Sigma. I don't know if he's going to stay that. I would not stay that if I was Yeatmeister. A lot less utility in terms of negating some of this damage. So it is going to be, like I said earlier, like the Bobcats are going to try to take these long fights slow, knowing they have more heals. And just trying to either isolate someone with the wall or try to wait until etc. finds a pick here. Yeah, we'll see as the spawn door open if we get any Widow picks right away. Does not find anything. Yeatmeister is actually going straight for the high ground, trying to close this distance onto the Sigma. But the problem is you have to be careful of this Mei. I believe he did see that Mei and is now playing a lot more defensive. If Yeatmeister gets a little bit too aggressive, it does set him up to get walled here, so it's got to be something he's got to be watching out for. Who's actually playing on an off angle, trying to do a little bit more damage here. Already got a lot of damage under the shield, and Wiggle Higgle getting taken down by etc. I've got to be watching these Widows more. Defensively, too, you don't necessarily want to be playing for this first corner. You're going to play back for the second one. Playing for the first corner, there's a lot more cover, a lot more shorter rotations you can do. So it's fine to start out there and try to look for an early pick just to get some more time off, but ultimately the bread and butter of this first point here is going to be that back half of first point, because there is so little cover and there is so much space to cover. It's really hard to close this distance. Yeatmeister, like I said, does swap over the Sigma, likely trying to play a little bit less aggressive, prevent himself from getting walled here. So yeah, some good picks there from etc. to kind of open that up. Boost actually might get caught out here. Takes a lot of damage, but ultimately able to get out with his life. And Yeatmeister takes a little bit of poke there, but does drop down. Again, it is so hard to brawl against this Mei, because you are just so easy to get walled off. And like I mentioned earlier, you don't necessarily want to be hard holding this first corner. You can just kind of try to look for picks if you can, but don't play too aggressively holding this corner. Shoreline Pie actually gets a grapple shot, finds Moon, but etc. finds Purple Jesus on the other side, so we are even right now. Shoreline Pie actually finds etc. there. Window is used from Riddle Dog to try to keep this momentum up. Looks like Shoreline Pie will get another. Finds 3 that fight, is looking for more, might be able to find Moon here, or Foost here. Foost also dies kind of late there, so it looks like the Bobcats will have to give that point. Are looking at a pretty big ult advantage getting out the window from Riddle Dog too. So both support ults are up, along with both prophetic fluxes from both teams coming up here soon too.
So careless.
Like I mentioned in the previous map, I think one of the best ults in the game is this Juno ult. So Fire actually finds Purple Jesus early, so they might not even need to invest anything. Etc. does actually match the sights. And it looks like even after the kill, Fire does not want to get too greedy, does not want to chase here. Opts to play a little bit more safe here. It is so hard to push into this recontest, especially with these ults here. Fire can just so easily grab someone with this flux here. You have to go through such a tiny corridor. Riddle does have the lamp on the other side, so if Riddle does not use his lamp, or does not try to hold onto his lamp here, this flux could be massive. But meanwhile, this entire time, the Floppas are catching so much poke here. Flux is popped, the rock is missed. Trance is used from Wiggle Higgle to keep everyone nice and healthy. Do not even need to invest this Riddle Dog lamp. Fire is forced from the high ground with that Trance. So you're trading ults. The Trance is able to keep everyone alive through that Flux. Now, Deepmeister does have a Flux of his own. Now on the other side, Foost, really the only thing that I think can keep everyone alive through this Flux. The Orbital Strike does have a lot of healing it can put in, but I don't think we'll be able to sustain through the first. Fire actually gets two. Seemingly out of nowhere, just gets two of his primary fire shots off. Meanwhile, Moon is just in the backline, putting so much pressure under Riddle Dog, does force the lamp out. Etc. does find his. The Widows are going pretty even on the duel, but Fire gets a little bit too greedy, trying to chase Riddle Dog, does not get the kill. The Pulse does not find anything from Moon here, too. Moon, I think, is just trying to get some more progress, but does end up paying for it with his life. Etc. also unable to get out. Really good stagger picks here for the Floppas, as the Bobcats are likely going to have to go for a late recontest here. Also, the entire time, Deepmeister does still have this Flux, and now we're on the other side of this. The Bobcats have to go through this tiny choke in space. Deepmeister does have a really good opportunity to go for this Flux here. Moon does have this, Boost does have this Juno ult, but Triple G's is already dead. I think the Orbital Strike got cancelled actually from Topaz. So yeah, the Bobcats are just able to keep walking this point here. Moon is dead, so there's really no one to contest this point here. Riddle Dog also finds Etc. And yeah, Foo's trying to throw himself onto the point at the last second. There's not a whole lot he can do. He does find Riddle Dog, but Foo's falls, and right after, so does Fire. Moon just gets there slightly too late to be able to fight. And yeah, Etc. actually gets taken down by Purple Jesus. So these staggers are brutal here for the Bobcats. While Purple Jesus was typing, Moon does just walk past him for free. We do have that same trade here I'm expecting for Fire to use this Flux. Wiggle should have his Transcendence on the other side. Goose goes over to the Solari, try to get a little bit more poke damage, but does get taken down by Purple Jesus. The Rock actually is canceled from Fire. Fire might end up getting taken down here. Looks like the cart just continues to roll for the Floppas. Space Mover actually falls, accidentally finds Moon, falls directly on top of him and gets the kill. But it is in a really awkward position here. Is split from his team, able to just kind of wrap around. Is able to get out for free. Purple or Shoreline Pike does have a really aggressive angle here. The Flux from Fire does not manage to find any kills, and Wiggle is able to hold onto the Trance, uses it really aggressively, trying to allow Deepmeister to push up here. The Dragon is stacked on top of that too. And Deepmeister is just able to walk into the backline and get so much damage in. And it looks like the point will just roll in, no one to touch here. So yeah, going into this, we were kind of expecting to see this big, like, Widow duel. Overall, it seemed like it was a lot more of a kind of a Sigma battle, who was able to kind of hold that space better. Yeetmeister playing very aggressively, and it seems like the Bobcats just want to kind of trade backlines here instead of trying to punish Yeetmeister for walking so aggressive. Yeetmeister able to get so much damage in, get so much cleave, set up his team to kind of find those picks there. And we do see, not surprisingly, the exact same comp coming out for the Floppas. We are seeing some swaps here for the Bobcats, though. We did see Foos go over to that Alari late, and we are seeing Fire showing that Diva here. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Bobcats try to swap to play something a little bit higher pace, a little bit faster, trying to punish this Bap Zim. Because the Bap Zim is a good support line. They will do a lot of damage, but they are very immobile, so you can definitely try to run them down, which I think is kind of the goal of this D.Va here, is try to put pressure onto this backlane here. Moon also on this Tracer should be able to do a lot of harassing onto Wiggle, kind of force some cooldowns, try to force some cooldowns from Real Dog to try to keep Wiggle alive here. And yeah, etc. Trying to take this coast angle here. Like I mentioned earlier too, you don't really want to be trying to hold this aggressive first corner here. You can do some poke here, which looks like what Yeetmeister is doing, but you will end up having to back to this backside there. Etc. gets taken down by PJ. With that, I don't even think the Bobcats want to fight here, but Fire does actually fly in. PJ actually gets taken down. Moon is traded on the other side, but the spawns do favor the Bobcats here. So they could try to stay in this fight if they want. Etc. is already back into fight Shoreline Pie. Identifying that as a go condition. Fire flies in, does a lot of damage onto the backline. Falls very low, but looks like we'll be topped up here by Topaz. Also, meanwhile, Foos is able to find the pick onto Yeetmeister. This Alari pick is finding these kills here. If you're playing the Alari, you really want to be doing this damage. That's kind of the big value you get from going this Alari, and that's what Foos has been doing so far on this attack. Moon goes a little bit too aggressive, kind of goes in by himself. But they don't touch! Yeetmeister goes right past the point, and no one on the Floppas is able to touch here. Foos does get traded out on the other side, but the point is already garnered, so the Bobcats, doesn't really matter what happened. Fire might get staggered here, trying to find PJ. Does get taken down from by Fire. Moon goes onto the Sombra off of this Tracer. Likely is going to try to put a lot of pressure onto, especially the DPS here of the Bobcats. Yeetmeister did see the translocator being thrown, so is trying to spy check before the Sombra. Goes over to the Doofus. I think that was just for the touch, but now is stuck on it here. Topaz plays really aggressively here, tries to use the Orbital Strike to go take this fight here. But the picks are actually coming in. 3 picks for the Floppas. And the Bobcats did have to invest 2 ults there. Still don't end up winning the fight. Super messy fight. Really kind of uncoordinated there from the Bobcats. Using that Orbital Strike, they got a little bit too split, a little bit too aggressive. They could have just played a stable play on that Orbital Strike. Tried to play a little bit too fast and got cut out for it. Lamp is forced from Brittle Dog. Off of Moon just doing this backline harassing. Down the Widow, though. Bobcats might have their opening, but Foos is traded out on the other side. PJ able to find another pick. If Moon needs to be looking for these supports here to try to keep this pace up. PJ uses the Dragon to try to split the backline here, but Fire and Moon are really aggressive onto the backline. Moon is super close to getting demech'd. Does, in fact, get demech'd. Moon also is traded on the other side, but they did manage to find Riddle. Fire is trying his best to find something here, but he likely will just get staggered. Yeetmeister does use the Meteor Strike to get out. Boost does find PJ, though. Now the spawns are favoring the Floppas here, so even though Boost did end up getting taken down, the team likely will be able to still stabilize. Shoreline Pie does use his Infrasight second. But no one on the Bobcats is really pushing here, so not a whole lot Shoreline can find here. Looking for Topaz here, peeking through a tiny little window. Almost finds it. A lot of ults were used that last point for the Floppas, so Foos with this, the Captive Sun, but not able to use it as Shoreline Pie just instantly kills him. Fire also gets really aggressive and gets taken down. Etc. actually finds Shoreline Pie. Looking for more. If he can find PJ here, that might be the opening they need. But Riddle Dog actually finds Moon on the other side. Moon is getting picked a lot here, especially early. Not what you want to see if you're the Bobcats. A lot of this, the Bobcats have do play together on their collegiate team, but it looks like they just do not have this coordination on this aggression. Everyone is going in at different points and just kind of getting caught out there. PJ also finds Boost really early, so PJ finds 2, looking for more. Shoots the dragon underneath. Looks like it's going to get Topaz. I think that Moon and Fire will be able to get out here, though. So it's looking really bad for the ult here for the Floppas, but PJ already built another dragon. It looks like it is typing something. And Wiggle and Riddle are very close to their ults here, too, so... I guess PJ was still typing and probably got picked there for etc. And meanwhile, the Bobcats do take the initiative here. Look for the backline. The trance is used to keep everyone alive through the Captive Sun. Honestly, that's a pretty good trade there. The trance is a huge ultimate to be used, but Boost gets taken out again by Shoreline Pie. And Foresight is used. Yeetmeister falls so low. Pick on the Yeetmeister could be huge. And Fire goes onto the backline, has this bomb if he needs to use it, but Shoreline is continuing to get the kills. Fire is able to take down Riddle Dog, so it looks like the Bobcats will cap here. Fire at 15 HP. Purple Jesus is trying his best. Gets the DMAC, but Fire does use the bomb. So it is still winnable for both teams. Yeetmeister still has this Doom. I think he is going to switch. Foost goes off of the Alari onto the Kiriko. I believe that is just kind of prevent himself from getting dove there, but etc. actually finds that early pick out of Shoreline Pie. Shoreline Pie has been a menace this map so far. And etc. trying to use the grapple to get a pick, and does not have that grapple to escape there as he gets run down by Yeetmeister. But PJ actually traded on the other side. I think you take that if you are the Floppas, or the Bobcats. Riddle Dog also gets taken down after using the lamp. So this cart is going to continue to roll here. Topaz still holding onto this orbital strike. Only the Infrasights from Shoreline Pie. Riddle also goes over to the Juno. So there's a window here where the Bobcats can play really aggressive, having this ult advantage. They need to just kind of play for the speed. Again, use that coordination they kind of are experienced with on their collegiate team. Fire flies onto the backline, trying to put pressure under Riddle. Gets so much damage and not quite able to find the kill. Shoreline Pie also falls really low, doesn't get taken down. The picks are starting to come in here. It still has that orbital strike from Topaz here. Wiggle almost gets taken down here. That would have been devastating for the Floppas. PJ is so low on this Tracer here. Does use recall, but is still super low. Barely able to get out with his life. The trance is now built from Wiggle Higgle. Is forced. Both support ults are built for the Bobcats if they want to use it. They use the Orbital Ray early here. But Boost is already dead, 97% to his ult. PJ and Yeetmeister are able to find the kills there too. Bomb is used from Fire Carter, does not find anything. Yeetmeister is in the backline with this Primal. Yeah, ultimately just the kills aren't there for the Bobcats. Boost is able to teleport back with the Kitsune Rush, but that's just too little too late, as the Floppas will take map 2. And with that, the Bobcats are on the edge. Again, like we mentioned, this is just such a huge map for the playoffs for both teams here. So with the Floppas being up 2-0, they've got to be happy with that. The Bobcats have got to do something to try to answer back here. But it is not looking great for the Bobcats. We will take a short break here as we do go into map 3. So stay tuned, everyone. We will be back shortly. welcome back everyone. The Bobcats have taken us to Eichenwald. Let me do that. There we go. And we do see the swaps coming back in. As Yeetmeister did play the first 2 maps, Nort will come in to play the tank. For this map, if it does go to map 4, Nort will also be required to play. On the other side, we do see this kind of the starting lineup for the Bobcats. Foos back on a DPS, Moon back on to support. Fire is showing this Ramatra here. Seemed to work really good on Ilios first map. Nort is very capable on the Ramatra himself, so I could see Nort try to match this Ramatra here.
Real glory comes from helping people, not hurting
We do see
them.
again this Brig Juno backline.
Different definitions.
If anyone requires my assistance, please inform me.
But yeah, Nort showing the Junker Queen.
My throne is where I say it is.
I am pretty sure on tank, at least recently, his most played is Junker Queen. So kind of a comfort pick for him. But again, when he sees the Ramatra, it is kind of tough to play Junker Queen into Ramatra. I would not be surprised to see Nort mirror this. PJ going back to this Tracer that we've kind of seen consistently this season. Nort actually just runs really aggressive here through that ring. Really good coordination there from the Floppas. But Nort just has to shout. Might get caught out here as Fire does have the second hit with this Nemesis form. Falls really low here, not able to find a whole lot. The Floppas will look to engage here again with their Juno Ring and this Junker Queen shout. Ring is used. Slow is used onto Nort, but Nort might actually have done all the damage he needed to. Getting the kill onto Fire. Shoreline Pie is traded on the other side though, but without the tank, it is just so tough here. Nort gets a knife onto Ruben. Yeah, it looks like this Prio will be in favor of the Floppas here. But there is a whole lot of stall here for the Bobcats, so they might be able to stall this out long enough for Fire to get back. Fire is just right around the corner here, and Nort is really aggressive. Might be able to get caught out here by Fire, but so close to this super quick Queen ult. Does pop it, gets 2. Gets Topaz and Fire. Getting a pick on a Topaz here would be huge, and they do find that pick. Moon does use the rally, but that might be too little too late, as Ruben also gets taken down. And the Floppas are starting to get these picks here. PJ also uses the pulse on top of everything, but not able to find any picks, but the damage might have already been done for the Floppas. But if I am the Bobcats, getting the Queen ult out, getting the rally out, or getting the pulse out for the rally is a pretty good trade, but Shoreline Pie actually playing really aggressive, actually gets 3 picks, trying to run into the spawn here. And might be able to get out with his life. Fire falls so low, only has the Brigitte heals. But does pop the Nemesis form. So close to finding Shoreline Pie, but both supports are there with him. Does manage to find Shoreline Pie. Shoreline gets a little bit too greedy. And the Floppas look like will be forced to regroup. PJ is able to get out again, already has another pulse. And meanwhile, that entire time, Nort was just running to that high ground, able to get Ruben. And kind of just force him off that high ground. Nort is really aggressive here. Might be split from his team as they do need to have someone pushing this payload here. The slow is used. The shout used from Nort to try to back up here. Riddle uses the orbital strike to try to keep everyone alive. But Topaz answers on the other side. Probably super messy fight here. But the pulse from PJ ultimately finds 2. Nort falls solo. This could be a pick. Huge pick on a Nort here. Advantage in terms of people from the Floppas, but the tank is still alive for the Bobcats. Might be enough for them to sustain here. The Annihilation is used onto the point here from Fire. Looks like we'll be able to find Wiggle Higgle. And the Bobcats might be able to stabilize here, but Shoreline Pie pops the overclock, gets 1. Who's just harassing him, but Shoreline Pie does take him down. 2 overclock headshots from Shoreline Pie. Falls down to 4 HP. Ruben actually is able to find the kill there. Still a super messy fight. Either team could still come out on top, but PJ actually finds 2. PJ is just getting work done on this Tracer here. Fire is alone on this cart. I don't know if he will be able to get out. Does actually get the Mega, so Fire will be able to escape from his life. Ruben close to this Bob, could just use it to contest the point here, but I don't even know if the Bobcats will have a touch here. Surely Foos will be able to come out and test the point, and he does with 1.1 meters. Wiggle uses the rally to sustain his team through this brawl. Fire is taken down. The Bob is used, thrown on the back line. Shoreline Pie falls so low. A pick on a Shoreline Pie could be huge, but Shoreline Pie gets 2 kills before that happens. blistering pace so far here from the Floppas. Look to keep up this momentum here. Up 2-0 in the series so far, and so far in Eichenwald are also up 2-0. 4 minutes going into this last point here. PJ does get taken down. PJ has been a menace so far on this Tracer. Yeah, this point will continue to roll here. Again, Nort with another Queen ult. No cleanse on the other side, no beat to keep everyone alive here. The rally is kind of the only thing that can help sustain their team. It actually only catches Ruben. Ruben does get taken down, but Moon is able to rally to sustain his team through this brawl. Riddle actually uses the Orbital Strike to keep his team alive here. It looks like the advantage will be in favor of the Floppas here with that Orbital Strike. The Bobcats are able to contest, only losing 2 here. They might be able to get another recontest here, but not a whole lot of ults. They do have the Orbital Strike here, which might be enough in and of itself, but Fire also close to this Ramatra ult. He's able to build it in time. Orbital Strike is used, thrown onto the point by Topaz. Topaz also finds Wiggle Higgle, so that should be enough for the Bobcats to stabilize. Nort falls so low, is getting heals just thrown into him. Yeah, it looks like the Bobcats will be able to stabilize on the back of that Orbital Strike from Topaz. With that being said, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. The Floppas only need to get one good fight in here and have time to build up these ults again. Shoreline Pie with the overclock has been deadly. So Shoreline Pie, I wouldn't be surprised to see try to pop this overclock early and just try to clutch it out. Fire does have this Annihilation, so can play really aggressive to try to shut this down early. Nort trying to run there, but not able to find any kills. Fire does pop the Nemesis for him. Wiggle so low, is able to find the kill onto Wiggle Higgle, and that might be the only thing they need. Floppas looks like are going to be forced to at least do a soft reset here down their brig. Nort is still trying to go in aggressive here. Looks like we'll get caught out there with the tunnel from Boost. PJ also gets taken down here, so that signals another reset here from the Floppas. Again, not a whole lot of ult from either side. Shoreline Pie, again, has been really crazy with this overclock here. Ruben has a high noon to probably try to get some space here. Nort also close to this rampage here. Nort's been getting some getting a lot of space here, at least off that rampage. The last one wasn't as big as the first one, but one big rampage is all you need to win this fight here. Knife is used onto Fire. Nort, I'm sure, is looking for it right now. Forces the Nemesis form from Fire. Looks like it's going to play really aggressive after this Nemesis form wears down. Does have the Shout here in his back pocket if he needs it. Shouts in, gets 2 with the Rampage, including Moon. The OC is popped from Shoreline Pie, gets 2, gets 3, shuts down 2 ults in the process. The rally is used on top of everything. So 4 ults were used from the Floppas. I don't know if the Bobcats are going to be able to touch. They are super close to some of these support ults. Yeah, Ruben is killed in spawn. The Vidra is actually able to touch here from Boost. If Boost is able to survive long enough for Topaz to get this ult, might be enough. The 2 picks already. Not a whole lot the Bobcats can do. Down 2. Super scrappy fight here. It looks like the Floppas will come out on top. As the picks are coming, the Bobcats are throwing themselves on the point, but again, not a whole lot they can do. They did get the time back down to under a minute, so if the Bobcats do full cap, they will be guaranteed another touch, regardless of how much time they have. It's a really dominant first half of the map there from the Floppas, but the Bobcats did manage to stabilize a little bit late into that map there. PJ also swapped over to that Junkrat. I'm very curious to see if he's going to stay that here. The Tracer has been working, so I'm assuming he is just going to stick with that Tracer, but kind of an interesting pick. Anytime I see the Junkrat played in any capacity, I'm always kind of a little bit surprised by it, so. It still is a very good push there from the Floppas, even though they did get their time bank wheeled down at the end, but it is still definitely winnable here from the Bobcats, though. That by any means was not an unbeatable attack there, so both teams do have a good win condition here. So you see PJ actually going onto the Soldier. Moon also is showing the Curie in spawn. I don't know if he's gonna stay the Curie I wouldn't be surprised to see that, because you do have that Suzu for the Rampage to shut down the Queen ult. But you also do have more mobility with that TP to try to get out if you do get ran on. The Brig is kind of susceptible to getting shouted on by the Queen and just kind of run down. Ruben is also showing this Sojourn of his own. I guess was not happy with that cast there. Tries to switch over the Sojourn just to switch something up here. The Soldier is going to be able to pressure some off angles here, but will not be able to flank as aggressively as the Tracer. So the Bobcats are likely aware of that Soldier and are trying to play a little bit more, a little bit less wary of these hard flanks here. Actually, Fire gets with the primary Fire gets Shoreline Pie. Huge pick there. Fire does run onto the backline and forces Wiggle out, and does isolate Nort after the break backs there. PJ also gets taken down there by Moon. Fire gets pulled in by Nort. Gets taken down so low. It does end up falling, Nort does end up falling to Moon there. So really fast attack there. PJ now goes back to the Tracer. His tried and true. But Boost actually gets taken down, gets too aggressive, runs it by himself. Does not have that recall, so is forced to back. Not quite able to get the kills in time, so does get taken down. Fire, Nort does run onto Fire here. Fire falls so low. I think the heals are there. The speed ring just in case, just to make sure Fire's able to get out with his life. Both units are very close to their ult here. Looks like Riddle will have a slight advantage here. It's just so hard to fight in this Juno ult, so if Fire does, or if Riddle does use his ult aggressively here, the Bobcats are probably going to have to back up here. Just kind of survive through it. Ruben actually finds PJ. Huge pick there. There's that ult from Riddle coming out. Nort is trying his best to get the value with it, but Fire is able to back up. Bobcats are very split here, but they will be able to survive through that orbital strike. And Fire actually runs down Riddle Dog. The Kitsune Rush on top of everything. Might have honestly not even needed that with that pick onto Riddle early there, but one ult used to kind of secure that fight. I'm happy with that for the Bobcats. Kind of, I guess, trade that support ult, get Riddle Dog's ult out for your Kitsune Rush. We'll have this orbital strike from Topaz coming out here. The Floppas are super split right now. Fire does have this Annihilation if he wants to use it. Can play really aggressive. He has been consistently looking for Wiggle Higgle here, trying to find Wiggle Higgle early. It looks like the Floppas do manage to regroup, and Nort does get split here. Orbital Strike is used from Topaz, but Annihilation onto the backline. Rampage catches Topaz. Fire able to just kind of tank this here, finds Riddle Dog again. The Floppas are so low here, but so are the Bobcats. Pulse is used, does not find any kills, but this Annihilation is still up here for Fire. Does manage to take down Nort, but the spawns are so close here for the Floppas. Fire getting for this fight, looking for more. Not quite able to do it. Fire's 4K is not able to clutch it up for his team, as the spawns are just so close here for the Bobcats. Fire types no way man in chat. A lot of ults were used that fight. Going into this next fight, the only two ults that will be up are both overclocks. Again, those two ults that were traded the fight before last, the Moon's Kitsune Rush and Riddle's Orbital Ray will be the only ults probably available this fight outside of the overclocks. Shoreline Pie does have a much better positioning on this high ground, manages to find Ruben even without using that ult. Goose is doing his best to try to force this point here. But with that pick under Ruben, the Bobcats can't even really push here. Goose is on a deep flank here. Again, is going to just try to pull out the Floppas. Moon does get his ult slightly before Riddle Dog, but before this next fight starts, Riddle will likely be able to build up one of his own, so. Shoreline is alone, but Fire tries to run him down, not able to find the kill, and gets pulled out by Nort. Wiggle is traded on the other side, so it is an even fight, but without your tank, it is so difficult to go for these fights. Shoreline also finds Moon, too. The longer this goes, it just looks like the ults are starting to favor the Floppas a little bit more here. almost 4 ults are going to be built up here. Topaz still a decent amount away from his orbital ray. Along with Fire about 60% from his ult too. PJ is trying to go wrap around here. The Bobcats do identify they need to get this high ground, do a different rotation to try to take it. Again, Moon does have this, oh, Fire's actually booped off the high ground, and the Juno ult is used from Riddle Dog. The entirety of the Bobcats does flip the map. Mort tries to jump on top of him, again, does have this, Rampage here. Likely is going to look for something, does knife Ruben, not able to get the kill there. Does use his ult, but does get taken down. Ruben on the... During that is actually, also gets traded out. Again, Fire is continuing to look for Riddle, or look for Wiggle, but Shoreline pops this OC. Fire on the point with this Annihilation, trying to just brawl it out here. Nort is the only one that can touch here. Riddle is trying to heal Nort from a distance. Nort might have the sustain to be able to kind of fight this here. Wiggle is coming back here soon with a rally, but so is Ruben with this overclock. Ruben is already back. Both Junos are traded here. But again, these spawns are just so much in favor of the Floppas. Target focus not quite there for the Bobcats. Moon gets taken down. Rally is used on top of that. 21 seconds left. The Bobcats are looking rough here. Likely are going to have to go swap to stall picks here, but not a whole lot they can do. No ults from the Floppas, but Ruben is still holding onto this OC. Boost is going to have to touch, and he's not able to do it. As the Floppas take Eichenwald, they take a clean sweep over their cat brethren and pick up a much-needed win. I think, I believe it is their first win with Yeetmeister too, so very exciting for the Floppas. Looked really clean today, running some cool comps. Junker Queen we haven't seen a lot of lately with just the domination of Ramatra kind of in the meta here. I have been talking for 2 matches, so I'm not going to do a full interview, but I am going to give Player of the Match to Purple Jesus. Popped off on the Hanzo, popped off on the Tracer, consistently played great today. So I want to give him a big shout out. But yeah, with that, that'll about do it for today. I believe tomorrow is probably one of the most hyped matches of the season so far, as the Froggists will play the Roosters. The 2 4-0 teams will duke it out tomorrow at 8:30, so stay tuned. We should be able to get that prodded, so keep an eye on that. We'll let you know when we are going live tomorrow. But thank you guys again for watching. Congratulations again to the Floppas, and congratulations for to PJ for winning Player of the Match. Yeah, we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Stay safe and